Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Congregation Beth, Tephilath, Moses. If you're a guest or a regular or watching on our website, we're glad you can join us. If you see someone that you haven't met before, please introduce yourself after Kiddush. This week's Parsha is the longest in Deuteronomy, Re'eh. In Hebrew, see. My oldest son was giving a talk on Deuteronomy that he entitled, Dude, Are You Hearing Me? And I thought he hit the mark, given that the word Shema, or listen, shows up in Deuteronomy at least 92 times. But today, we start our Parsha out with the word see. Moses takes a turn in his ideas, in his speech. He says, see that I am placing before you today a blessing and a curse. He's talking obviously about Hashem. The portion continues to cover the free choice of reward and curse. The blessing will come if you obey the commandments, and the curse will come if you do not heed and go astray from the path which I have commanded. There are 55 mitzvot in this parsha alone, 17 positive and 38 negative. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks says in one of his talks about Re'eh, and I quote, "To appreciate the originality of Judaism, I've argued more than once in these studies. We must grasp one fundamental point. Unlike almost every other culture in ancient and modern times, Judaism is a religion of sound, not sight, of hearing rather than seeing, and of the word as against the image." He goes on with some examples. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. If you surely hear the commandments I give you this day, to love the Lord your God and serve him with all your heart and all your soul. Moses and the Levitical priests spoke to all Israel, saying, pay attention and listen, Israel. Listen, O heavens, and I will speak. Earth, hear the words of my mouth. Our Parsha, however, seems to represent a counterexample. Re'eh is the first word, which means see. And on the face of it, Moses is making an appeal to the eye, not the ear. However, if we examine the role of sight in Judaism, we discover something strange. Often, when the Torah seems to be using a verb or metaphor for sight, it's actually referring to something not seen at all, but rather heard. What the Israelites were asked to see was words. Unquote. We see the words in Torah, and then we hear them. Yet I can't help but recall all the times in Torah that seeing was what was being discussed. Starting with Adam and Eve. They saw. Noah saw what Hashem could do. Abraham seeing. The Egyptians, the Israelites, the people of Mount Sinai saw. The Red Sea, 40 years in the desert, people were seeing. The list goes on. And now Moses is seeing the land he can't enter. Seeing is such an important sense. It has to be utilized. Often one of my sons will say, Dad, you have to see this. Come on, you have to see this. And for some reason, I want to hear about it on my way. I have this innate thing about whether it's impatience or what, but I want to hear about it first. But when I hear about it and then I see it, they're two completely different things. That's how important seeing is. You'll never be able to put together, you can certainly see in one's mind's eye, but to be able to really see from hearing are two completely different things. How much different is hearing an automobile accident or seeing one. There's an entirely different emotion. In this Parsha, we're asked to use sight to look for idols in the new land and to destroy them, to look for blemishes on the firstborn who are going to be brought to the base of Mikdash. The base of Mikdash, where is it going to be placed? We have to see. Kosher animals. You have to look at the kosher animals. You can't hear them to see a cloven hoof. We have to inspect our fowl, our insects. We're also to attend, not hear. It's not like turning the radio on. We must attend the 3 festivals. Takes action 3 times a year. So let's see what Hashem has put before us. Let's open our eyes and see what all Hashem has done. When we read silently, we see things in our mind. When we read aloud, we not only see, but we hear. And the benefit of that is like that old commercial, 2 mints, 2 mints, 2 mints in one. When you read aloud, you get the benefit of both hearing and seeing. Let's see the words, read them, listen, and use our free will to choose between the blessings and the curses. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.